Okay, this is the video. Basically, I'm putting together the hat. Those are the 4 pieces. To the left, right there, and you can see the cats running around. That one's Mark, Luke goes on after Mark, Matthew, and then John. And so that's the top and arms, the back, the front, and the waist. So I'm going to turn this up, and I'm just going to show you how I put each one together. Turn this in. There we go. Okay, for the top and the waist, or the top and arms, what's needed first is to find the front. The front is going to be, that's the back because of the 3 buttons. The front is going to be the one that's got the small button, the 1 button to the side right here. And I'm going to find the slot, or the slit it goes in. Find the slit, and it slips in right here. These shoulders, the 3 buttons I showed you before, go right where the shoulders are. And you see how it comes up to the arm? Same thing here. 3 buttons. I pull that one first of the 3 up. I make sure that the last 3 is up here to the shoulder end. And you see how it comes up? From there, I just connect the buttons for the arms. Now there's 2, let me show you. There's 2 for the sleeve, right here. One on the inside so that inside flap doesn't come apart and flop around on you. And then one for the other side. And what I did is I started just with pins. There was those Tic-Tocs, I think they are, or Tic-Tacs, or something. I'll put them in the PDF. I start with that and I just adjusted them around to where they were comfortable. See how that works? And then I go right to the next button, right here. And it covers that. Just like that. And then the next button, right here. And these go at an angle because I found when I was just using pins, they work best at an angle. There it is. Alright. And you're just going to do the first 4. The 2 on the wrist and then the other 2 down the arm. And then move on to the next arm because the other ones get more tricky and I like to take it off before I put it back on or try to button it all. There, the next one. Alright. For those of you not familiar with the Catholic traditions and don't have a real place in your heart with them, this will look weird. Strange, but there's a tradition, a long-standing tradition for actually thousands of years regarding monks and the monastic, and I cover that in my rule, and I cover that in other writings. And here's the next. It has meaning, being clothed in the very dimensions and with the burial cloth of Christ, divided into the 4 Gospels. Oops. Did I mess that up? I messed that up. Okay. See? Not perfect here. Alright. So I got those 2 on the wrist, and I'm going to do the next one down, and the next one after that. And these buttons I cut myself and stained myself, and I sewed on for myself. You know. The only thing I didn't do was the hem. I was going to do it myself, but it was folding in, it was rolling in. So I needed a professional seamstress who had a machine that would sew it. It was this problem. So I've gone as far as I can just with the top. Alright, and I'm going to do one thing while it's still on. I'm going to put the back on where these buttons are because that's the easiest way to do it. And I'll show you how to do that. So it's just like that. Now, this back. The buttons are here in the front, so I'm going to fold it in because I need the buttons. Actually, no, I'm going to fold it, you think, for a minute. No, it's just like it should be, I think. Hang on. Yeah, because the buttons are on the outside, okay. Oh, actually, it's going to fold like this. There we go. Trying to think of how I had it. Yep, just like this. So, and I'm just going to, as it's folded, and all of these buttons where the slits are, the double slits. Now you see where how the double slits fit. They're going to line up together. And you can start wherever's comfortable, most comfortable. I'm going to start on the outside, right here. And I'm going to move right on down the line. This one. And, oops. This one. All those double slits, and it's going to hold it right on your shoulders. And don't worry about the weight, because the front will take care of the weight. It'll balance out. So it won't be sliding off your back. There's enough buttons to keep it. Okay, so that shoulder's done. It's holding. I'm going to do the next shoulder. Okay. I'm going to find the end. And I have an extra pair of slits here. And that's because I mismeasured the first time I put those slits in. I just never sewed them shut. Alright. Okay, here we go. Let's go. The first one. And the second one. I'm just doing this as I go. I'm doing all of this off the top of my head. Nothing is really scripted here. Why the habit? Because the monastic, you write your rule, you take vows to the rule, and what happens then, you have a sign for the covenant. Every covenant has a sign. For the Nazarite, it was the long hair. It wasn't necessarily what they wore. But the identifying what you wear with your rule, we see that in St. Francis. You know, he wore sackcloth, and that's what his poverty was, a sign. Okay, so the shoulders are on. Now I want to put on Matthew. This is Luke. I'm going to put Matthew on the front, and then I'm going to take it off and then connect the sides. I found it's easier to connect the sides when you have it off. Actually, I might start with the first buttons and then connect the sides from there. Again, I'm just going to play it as I go. So, okay, this one. Just making sure it's all right and straight. Okay. Okay, good. It's right and straight. All right. Now let's connect this guy. Just like this. Perfect. Oh no, I gotta flip it around. I do it according to the seam. All right, there we go. Now, I fold it right where the slits are. I'll show you the slits. The slits right here. Hard to see. Get where the light is. And I'm going to start again with this end, just like this. First one. Whoop, I'm out of the shot. Here we go. Second one. Third one. There, this front is done. Now this side. We'll start with the very end. Alright, I found the slit. First one. Second one. And third one. Now what I do after I put it together, until I wash it, I leave it together and just hang it up as a whole. except for the waist. I take the waist off always because it's just easier. There we go. Now there's a button in the front that corresponds to this slit right here, the middle slit. Get there. That button I put together with the front, it's going to go right through. I go through the first one. I'll show you I go through the whole thing. But then, sometimes I like to pull it out of the front one. I'll show you what I mean. And just take it out from the front one and just let it be in one fold. So it doesn't show. There we go. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is, last time I had a problem with this, I'm going to just connect the very bottom button. I'll back up and show you. The very bottom button, so I can get a start before I finish it up. I'll start from the bottom to the top. I found that to be the easiest. Alright. Bottom button on the right is done. And right where the two meet. Oh, is it done? Yeah, I got the right one. And the bottom button for the left. Oops, I'm out of the shot again. Bottom button for the left. Here we are. There we go. Bottom button for the left. Now I'm going to take it off and finish it that way. Alright. So I just found it to be the easiest that way. When putting the habit on, just to have it off and finish buttoning it straight up. And then I'll put together I'll just take one of these chairs and I'll adjust everything down so you can see. Let me turn that a little more. There we go. Hard to see here. Just easier, and then I'll put together the waist and show you the waist. I just take side by side and follow the buttons straight. The armpit area is the hardest when you're putting together the buttons for the habit, because it connects several pieces together. Okay, so I found the bottom button right here. I should turn it down a bit more. There we go. Bottom button right here. Alright. I'm just going to follow it to the next button and slit and just go right down the line. The first button is not going to have, it's only tied in Matthew, or Luke and Matthew. The next one is going to tie in more than that. It's going to tie in the folds. So you see it's got Luke to Matthew. And then I'm just going to bring in Luke, the second fold, and then Matthew's second fold. Right like that. Okay. Then go right down and do the same thing again with the next button. Put them together right here like that. Luke and Matthew. Luke is the button and Matthew is not the button, it's the slit. Then the second folds. Put the second button down this line. And I always forget about this, how it works. I don't do this enough. I usually keep it together and I don't do anything until I wash it. Now the next one, let's put it together. The third one. I think it's the fourth one is when it ties in the armpit. If I can remember correctly. Let's see if I can find it. So the button is going to be in the arm. Right here. Actually, no, the button is in the... Oh, it might be the fourth one. Here they are. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. I got to switch over for a minute the back of the hood, and then I got to finish tying in the hood. I can do that. These three slits. The three slits on the hood where the 3 buttons on the hood, or the back to the 3 buttons on the back are going to go through the 3 slits on the hood, or the back. Buttons are on the hood, the slits are in the back. Buttons are on Mark, the slits are on Luke. I should tie that in. So, and there's a button back here that needs to go right through the back because I found it helps. Otherwise it scrunches up. It's right beneath the center button for the back. And then, I know it's a little bit confusing. Once you get it, it makes sense. Where is that 3rd button? On the slit. I might have misbuttoned this. Oh, I didn't misbutton this. It's a 3 button. Okay, that's fine. Alright, this one goes right here. I have to reset a few of these buttons, is all. This button goes right here. Yeah. And this button goes right here. Alright. Now I have to finish resetting the hood. This side. Okay, good, it's in. Alright, now I'm going to put my hand in here and I want to try and flesh it out because there's some buttons that help set the hood a bit better on the inside. Right here is the opening. Where's that go? Oh, I see. The centerpiece came right out. Jeez, I hate it when it does that. Sometimes it does that. There we go. Found a slit, and I couldn't find where the part was. So, okay. Sometimes it takes me a little while to find where all the buttons are, and sometimes I get confused on them because I'm an old man, or aging man, I should say. Okay, so this button is here. This helps keep the arms attached to the front. Okay. The lighting isn't the best. I'll do another video that does a better job of this. So I just wanted to practice with this right now. Okay, and then it's got a button on the back as well. Right there it is. And this keeps the back together as well. It's more in the center of the back. Very good. Alright. Now, while those are lined up, the only thing that's missing... Okay, I know what it is. This button right here, I forgot. Okay, that didn't help. Huh. Okay. There's 2 slits in the arm, and actually I gotta put those slits into this. So I'm gonna take out I'm off on something. I know it. Something is off. Oh, I see what's off. Okay. I knew it was off on something. Alright. See, I made a mistake. I gotta bring this down some. That's what you get when you don't sleep. All night writing, and in between writing, doing chores. And I got some things heavy on my heart, so I've been praying about that. That happens. Alright, that makes more sense now. Alright. That makes more sense. This one goes in, this one goes in. Much more sense. Now, this button
So